So what we will work next on? Next we'll work on a front wing. Yeah. I actually bought a used wing, yeah, from a breaker, because I thought that it will be easier. Yeah, less for just buy a new one and put it into a car. But the problem is that those wings should have the same R81 color. Guess what? It does not match. That's first problem. Next problem that on photos, as usually, they make them look really nice and say that that one is A category, like the best condition possible. Yeah, but look at that. It has a stone chips, doesn't match the color. Yeah, look how they remove the wing. Look on those mountain spots. They're basically butchered. Yeah, look at that. It's damaged. Yeah, and it's removal damage. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't damaged, but while they damaged it while they were removing it, they just tear it apart. You know, like that one is also not well. You see that mountain spot is damaged, bent. Need to fix that. So, what I decided? I decided that I will simply send this back. Yeah, just we will simply return it to the seller. Yeah, and we will fix the original wing from that car. Let me show it. And that's the original one. It doesn't have any issues in this spot. Yeah, no stone chips, just nothing. Yeah, but also it's very nice on that side. Everything is nice and smooth, except we have small tiny dent here and few, like you see, scratches. Yeah, also we have a big huge dent here that I already slightly pushed it out with just my bare fingers, but we need to fix that area. Yeah, and the main problem is that mounts, they are slightly bent. So what I'll do next? First of all, I will remove those mounts and fix them first. They are pretty easy to remove because they are actually on aluminium rivets. Yeah, like one here and two here. So I will drill them out and we will start fixing that mounting like bracket. Yeah, first, and also it will give me access to that big dent so I can push it out. Yeah, because currently I probably can, but it's very hard to reach there, and also all these things that they keep things together. Yeah, like, and make them very strong. So, and I simply cannot fix that without removing, because if I will try, I will make more damage than fixing. Yeah, so let's remove that 3 rivets and fix that parts. Let's go. So how we will remove that? Let me put this on support. So first of all, okay, what we need? Curler drill or any type of drill. This 8mm drill bit and something to hold rivet from behind. Why? Because it will rotate and we will not be able to drill this out. So, by the way, there are small steel cores inside each of them. It's just technological cores, like that's the technology how they have been installed. Yeah. So I simply took a small Allen key and lightly tap them out. Yeah, so the hole is empty, like nothing blocks the rivet. So now I will grab the rivet from the side, like anyway, and start to drill it. It goes pretty easy because it's soft. The only problem is that it's hard to hold it from behind. Yeah, so it always tends to. It will be really easier if you have someone to help with that, you know, like second pair of hands. But I don't have that, so we'll have to try. Let's see, a bit more. Yeah, you see that pop off, that like head of the rivet, or what's left from it. Yeah, and from the behind we have another part of the rivet. Yeah, here it is. Oops, pull down some. In any case, I will have to clean the garbage after. And now that's already free. We have one more to go. Finally that off, and now we can take that apart completely. Yeah, close it. All of that. So now we have 3 separate parts, like that bracket, other bracket, and the wing itself. Now we can easily assess that area and straighten that, fix those dents. Let's go. So I have my Pinocchio friend, yeah, it already did few cars with me. Yeah, probably looks kind of silly, but it works, you know. So first part will be that bracket. Why it will be first? Because that one is what holds headlight to a chassis. Yeah, so it stays. It's supposed to be like that on the car, and that one goes to a chassis, and that one holds headlight. Yeah, so why I do that? Why I do that first? Because by straightening that, we can already align it by 2 mounting points. Yeah, so we can be sure that it's straight. And after that, we will go to another part. So I will use a big hammer as a dolly, a small hammer to tap all that creases, you know, like flatten. So let's go. So, where you get to the point? That one, so I flattened that part, I flattened that one also. Now it's straight, yeah. straight angle. Same with that one. And also I adjusted that like that zone, yeah, so it has the same shape as on other wing. So now I plan to try and mount it on a car to check if it properly fits, yeah, and if it properly matches the headlight mount. Because sometimes uh, we can be very lucky and it could fit straightforward. Sometimes we need to just do a tight alignment, maybe a few millimeters here, a few millimeters there, yeah. So that's the point, that we can put it there and see where we need to move what, yeah. All right, guys, I already put that part on the car, and it feels like really well. Yeah, we will need to adjust it slightly when we put everything back together, because it's hard to say if it's misaligned like few millimeters, etc. But overall, I already bolted a headlight to it. I bolted that part to body, and so far it fits really well. Yeah, we will adjust everything together when we have all the parts ready. But now I will stick with that second mounting part. It has few bends. One is here, and one is on that area. So I will take my big hammer and just gently tap it to its shape. Don't need to hammer it too heavily. Just lightly, gently tap, 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 and it will go back to its shape. By the way, if you do something like that, it's always better to do it on the wood, because wood doesn't leave marks and it goes way easier and better. So that one and that one. That should be fine. That should be fine. So now I will put it on the car. I already put that one on here. Now I will put that part on. Let me undo that screw and put it back together. So it should go like that. And moment of truth. Does it fit or not? Let's see how it goes back together. So tighten it. And let's, okay, a bit too tight. A bit too tight. Let's loosen it a bit and see how it fits. Okay, so probably that should be a bit higher, but overall it's pretty damn close. Yeah, we will have to adjust it together with wing. So now I will just leave it as is. I won't adjust it anymore. Now we need to fix our wing, put it together, and maybe adjust that one, a bit like that. But it's just few mils. Overall, that's nice. So guys, what I do next? Remember that big dent front wing? I will use a special rounded dolly and piece of soft material, and I will just gently push it out, yeah, just like a pre-shaping. So I take my dolly and I simply go around the dent and slide like roll it, roll it gently, gently roll it back to its shape. Okay. 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 And like rolling actions, you know, like roll and press, roll and press. It basically imitates English wheel, but works surprisingly well. And just like that, you already have a shape. You see, there's no the big dent anymore. Yeah, it's still all the tiny hills and dents, but overall it popped out. So now we can continue working with these hammers to flatten it out and make it more smooth. But general shape is already there. Yeah, like it's already a solid wing with all that curved surface. It's not a big cave anymore. So after all that shaping, we left with a general shape, but pretty rough surface, you know. The idea, it's interesting because the idea behind fixing such dents is that you take big dent, yeah, convert it to flatter but more dents, and then you work on each of them, and eventually you will straighten all the surface to its back original form. But it can look a bit stupid, yeah, I would say, even like that, because like what, you make more dents? Yes, because you cannot just reshape it in one shot. Like you can on the factory when they use hydraulic press and just stamp it. But if you want to get back to the original shape, you need to slowly work its way. Yeah, that's just the way, guys. There is no other possibilities. So now I will use smaller hammer and start to work. I don't put any dolly because wood is kind of good material for that. So I just use a hammer and slowly start to work on some of the biggest dents that are present there. Let's go. By the way, guys, always keep your fingers close to the area. You will generally feel how metal goes, yeah, when it rises, when it falls. And that's the idea of that process, that you gently move it in one direction, another, yeah, and eventually it goes back to its shape. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, how it looks now. Yeah, pretty scary, I know. But overall, overall, it has its shape already. Yeah, obviously that we will need to use some body filler. I, I am not a Chinese master. Sorry, guys. It can spend a year on one wing and make it like a factory one. That's I am not that great. So what next? What next goes dually time. What that mean? I will use a same rounded dolly, because we have a rounded shape. And I will start gently hammering down high spots and low spots as well. Basically, apply a pressure, yeah, and use a spoon to hammer that area. Such technique just makes it way smoother, and we will need less body filler. Not that bad, not that bad. Really not that bad, I have to say. Okay, okay. So guys, where are we right now? I put the wing back on the car, yeah, and made slight adjustments to our fixed mounts. As you can see, it already looks pretty damn well, I would say. Taking into account how damaged it was, it looks really nice. Let me move you closer so you can see how it looks. So as you can see, the gaps are even and consistent as it should be from factory. Everything fits. Also, it fits very well with the bonnet. Yeah, gap is very nice. Shape is also very nice. Let me move it to the front. It also aligns with the headlight. Bumper mount is already mounted, and you see how nice and consistent the gap is. Like really smooth and nice, like it should be, you know, just like it's from factory. Instead of rivets, I temporarily used M5 bolts and nuts. Yeah, just like a temporary solutions that enable me to quickly disassemble and assemble it back. So right now, while everything is nice and fit correctly, we can already replace the bolts with proper rivets. Guys, in case if you don't need to do the same or similar repair, yeah, where you need to remove such rivets, you will need to align them back, all those parts. And if you remove those bolts, everything will move, and you will have to align it one more time. How to prevent that? You see the 2 holes for rivets and 1 extra hole. That's not used by anything. That hole is technological. On factory, when they assemble that, they put a pilot like aligning pin in that hole that holds the parts together. So, and that aligning pin in our case is 8mm drill bit. It fits like really nice and tight there, and it will hold everything together for us, while we will be able to put our rivets. So let's do that. I will remove those bolts one by one and replace them with the rivets. You see, the parts try to move, but they can't, because our drill bit holds them together at the same position as they were on the factory. So let's do that quickly. Go in. That's pretty tight fit, so need a bit of persuasion to a rivet, and now compress it. Yeah, nice. And next one. Remove the temporary screw. Put the rivet in. And snap it. Yeah. So now all parts are perfectly aligned, and we can remove our drill bit. We don't need that anymore, and the alignment is absolutely same as it was on factory. Yeah, everything is superior. Let's move next.